Hey, yo, rest easy, my bro Murdah. You heard? I dug up a unreleased exclusive for y'all. You heard? I finally got into my old laptop. You know, I got about 5 Mac laptops that I've been through, but I got into one of my old Mac laptops and I dug up this interview. You heard? And it's fire. Rest in peace, my bro. You know he one of the goats, if not the goat, on this channel. So check this joint. It's a movie. That's a fact.
Yeah, move, you got to bring it to me right, because you know you're dealing with a man. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if I'm in the room, with anybody. You know what I'm saying? With Hitler, Obama, with, you know what I'm saying? El Chapo, you know what I'm saying? Supreme, or I don't care who's I'm in the room with. You know what I'm saying? I'm walking the room with them. It don't make a difference who you is, what news channel they been on, how many bodies they got, how well they know about what dudes.
Yeah, son. So, what happened in that federal jail that you was like one of the only New York niggas
Oh,
in?
son. Oh, son, yeah, son. Boy, I gotta tell you about Warsaw. Warsaw, son. That's Warsaw. Is is a county jail, right, in Warsaw, Virginia. So they call it actually Warsaw, but it's really not called Warsaw. Most people from people that be going there from the big cities in the little counties. Like a lot of people there from Richmond, Virginia. A lot of people in there from Newport News, uh, of Norfolk, all of the people be up in there. But it mostly federal. It's like a federal hold. It's a very county jail, but I guess they hold federal inmates. They got a contract with the feds to hold federal inmates, and they treat us a little different from the way that they treat the regular detainees, like the local guys or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like basically like the way that they even charge us for like medical. Like we go to medical, we get charged for medical and stuff like that. We got to pay for certain stuff in there. Um, and it's the same. It's called in RJ, or Northern Neck Regional Jail. And I went there when I caught my Fed case. That's where they originally sent me to as a detainee, as a for pre-trial. And when I went up in that joint, I went up in the first unit I went up in. It was like a big dorm. It was like a reception dorm. I think it was called QMOD, right? I was up in QMOD, right? And I was up in there, and it was kind of big, and it was dormitory style um function. And you know how we don't really like dorms like that. You know what I'm saying? You can rock with them, but you know how it is. Especially as a new joint, you out of town. It's a dormitory, people walking around in bed while you sleep, and you don't know these dudes. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't really like it, but I know that I'm a dude that thrive in a prison setting because I done did state bids and stuff like that. So this is me. I'm catching this bid. I'm coming in here at an age like 30 years old. You feel me, son? So I'm already experienced, convict. I'm an experienced con. And a lot of these dudes is, you know how it is, they be new detainees. Dudes is catching cases for the first time a lot. But a lot of us who did probably had state cases or even criminal cases in, city jails and stuff like that. This is their first time experiencing being locked up in a federal holding pen or being locked up with a federal charge. It's a whole different experience. But at the same time, detainees is detainees, prison is prison once you get there. Later for the charges or what system and you in, prison is prison. So basically I was up in that joint, and me, since I thrive in, you know, um environments like the island, like upstate New York, places where, it go down. And being that I thrive in them environments, I know a little county jail really couldn't hold me. or detain me. It could detain me as far as, being locked up there, ball and chain, but as far as like contain me, like contain my, my animalistic behavior and my need to dominate my environment.
Niggas say, y'all could detain me, but y'all can't contain me.
Yes. Right? So I basically went in there and I was in that QMod thing, and I didn't really like the way it was going down, but it wasn't nothing. It was like, it was like kitty camp. They had the little phone situation there. It wasn't really nothing with the phones. I was able to, basically bully my way onto the little phone at, prime time, because regardless of the whole thing about a phone system, wherever you at, is about being able to use the phone during prime time. You know that. That's where, that's what separates the boys from the men.
They shit was banging straight out?
Nah, they joint wasn't banging straight out, but that don't mean nothing. In any system, that don't mean nothing. You still got, even if you pay for the joint, you still want to have access to the phone.
Exactly.
It don't make a difference. You pay for it. When the phone started paying out, that didn't mean nothing before dudes learned how to rock it and what's the name and beat the system and all of that. When they had to pay for it and all of that, dudes still had slot time. Ain't nothing changed. Just because they put a quarter slot on a doggone phone, they ain't changed. People still pay. I'll go like that. So
fucking rain is raining out my shit and
something in HDM dudes used to have time. Remember, if you was at HDM, dudes used to have slots on the collect phone.
Yeah, even when that shit, at the end of the day, everybody ain't, even when the shit was banging out straight, when they had the collect system, everybody ain't know how to make it bang out straight.
Yeah, so
I had that shit down to a science. You feel what I'm saying? So once I get on that shit, nigga, I that shit'll bang out forever.
Alright.
You feel what I'm saying? Like,
so the whole thing is dominance still counts in any environment. You know what I'm saying? We already know that, how like I always say, man, whatever rules apply in the criminal underworld apply in prison, because prison is a microcosm of the criminal underworld. It's straight up, that's what it is. It's an extension of it. It's a microcosm. It's of course the same rules apply. So I was there, and so QMAR wasn't really nothing. It was my first couple of weeks there. I had, a lot of co-defendants on my case, but where I was at, it was mostly the females was there that I had on my case, and they was in a little female pod or whatever, and they was in whatever Q pod or Mard or pod, whatever pods I think they call them, not Mars but pods. It was in some pod that they used to have to, I think it was E or F, whatever the females was in, and they used to have to walk by like the front of our unit to go to theirs. And our unit, when you walk by, it's all glass, so we could see them. But they used to, because the females worked the kitchen, and since they worked the kitchen, we used to get the trays, we used to pass notes through the trays to the females. And so I was passing notes to my co-defendants through the trays, through the diabetic trays. The people that got diabetic meals, we used to put the notes on their trays or whatever, right? And so dudes had got caught sending some notes. Some dudes that was there. It was this one dude that was there from New York. He was a blood dude. He was from Harlem, but he being booked into, his name was Red Rum, right? Now, Lil Rum, he was there, and son had a case. He was out there with some dudes out there in Richmond, Virginia, getting to their ones or whatever. But he was booked. I can't remember. I think he had a pistol charge. I can't remember exactly what his case was, right? But son was there, and he wanted to be up in the Fed joint with me too. But son was there, and me and him he was hollering at one of my co-defendants' homegirls, and so they was sending little kites and stuff like that, and the kites got booked. Somehow the police got them or whatever. Somebody probably ratted whatever, they got them, and they started looking at they looked at the names in the kites. And so what they was doing, they was in a joint. Nobody knew they had got popped up until we didn't know. So they was in there listening to the names, And when they was hearing names, they was booking dudes. Like they heard somebody call him Rum. They heard this dude name called, or whoever names was called based on what the notes were saying, signed or whatever. They was booking them. You feel me? But they never booked me. And I sent the note though, but they never booked me. So when they was taking Rum and them, they was taking them and transferring them to another unit. But I was like, shoot, I want to get out this reception unit anyway. And I was like, yo, what's the name? Rum was leaving, and me and Rum was Rum. I was going on visits with Rum because Rum's little broad was coming up, but I had a little broad that Rum broad was bringing up. You know what I'm saying? Was bringing up to see me, but my little broad was riding with Rum broad up to to Warsaw, all the way from Richmond to come see us. But you know, the units get visits. Like, you know how different units get visits on different days or whatever. So the unit they were sending him to got visits on a different day than my unit. So when we couldn't get, it was gonna make me lose her being able to come up with him. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yo, I got to get out of here too. So I went and was talking to the police, and I told her, I told straight, I'm like, yo, listen, they taking my man up out of here. Listen, one of them Kaiser was sent out was mine. I'm telling you straight up. You feel what I'm saying? Yo, get me about this unit. You feel what I'm saying? And I basically gave myself up like, yo, one of them kites mine. She was like, one of them was yours. I was like, yeah, get me out this unit. She thought I was bull spitting, you know what I'm saying? But she's like, I didn't get you out the unit. But the thing is, they ain't even send me to the same unit with son. You know what I'm saying? So you know I was tight. I did all of that, but the thing is, they sent me all the way. He went to another mod, right? They sent me to a block. See, the mods, the little mods over the little pods or whatever was modules, but then they sent me all the way around the corner to where they had the cell side. You know what I'm saying? No longer on the dormitory side. They sent me to the cell side. So they sent me in. I think this joint was EF. They sent me to F block. I think it's F block. EFD, yeah. I went to F block, right? First. So now F block, I get there, and son, you know, dudes there, they got little crews, they got like dudes, you got different crews, you got the country boys, which be the local county dudes, right? And then you got the dudes, the city dudes that be from like Richmond and Norfolk and Newport News and stuff like that. But you know, Richmond is more dominant in the joint, in that spot. So they got their little, you know, they got their little team. They got, you know, they all mess with each other. Even though, like in a city jail, you know how I go. They be beefing, neighborhoods be beefing with neighborhoods. But when they all the way out there in the county jail, they all together. Just like in the feds, like, you know, like dudes from New York. Like even like we might be on some Brooklyn Bronx stuff or some Brooklyn Uptown beef or whatever in New York. But when we out of town, New York is New York. You know what I'm saying? We all New York. Some spots, if you knew from upstate New York, you still New York. You know what I'm saying? You run with the New York whip. You know what I'm saying? So you with the New York whip or whatever. You know, so basically they had their little whips or whatever. And so I'm there, and ain't really no New York dudes there. Like, so it ain't no real New York car, no whip. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got no whip. So it's just like I said, it was when I got to that block, it wound up being one New York dude there, some young dude, I can't remember his name, just call him Jay. His name was Jay or whatever. He was from Harlem. He's a young dude. I told you he used to be doing mad pull-ups and all of that. So me there, I was there, and I was facing all of that time or whatever. And I ain't gonna lie, I kind of regressed. Back to my animalistic state, and I became kind of like savage in there. You know what I'm saying? And I seen a lot of weakness in these dudes. So basically, I took advantage of them. You know what I'm saying? I took advantage of them because they didn't really know how to bid. And I know how, you know, people, you know, tend to fear aggression. You feel what I'm saying? They fear aggression, or they respect aggression. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, all of that diplomacy, you come in there with diplomacy. You can have diplomacy, but you also got to let a dude know that you willing to split his head. You feel what I'm saying? So you could come in there and demand stuff like, yo, you could come in and be like, yo, bro, I'm not trying to whatever. Strength recognize strength, whatever. But at the same time, if I don't get my way, I'm willing to really put my life on the line for it. And when you come at them like that, dudes be like, hold on, dude serious, and dudes either going buck or they gonna fold and they gonna try to work something out. And 9 out of 10 times, son, you know, dudes be trying to work something out, because even if some dudes there and they might get busy, but they might be like, yo, why mess this up what we got going? Because dude want to rock it. Son is a real dude, so we might as well put dude with us. You know what I'm saying? Like that. So that's how I do. Like, yo, you a real dude, and I recognize you a real dude. Come on, son. Matter of fact, this lame dude, I just had him on a jack, but you know, yo, son, move, bro, son. You ain't got no time no more. Yo, son, that's your hour now. You feel what I'm saying? So, so it could rock like that. But anyway, I'm getting kind of long-winded on the story. But anyway, I'm up in the joint. Yeah, I know how you rock, right? But anyway, I'm up in the joint, and so, you know, like I said, I was savage. I was on the phone. I kind of like took the phones over, and it was 2 phones, and you used to have to be on the phone, and you dialing out on the phone. You paid for them, don't, from money on your books or whatever, so you're on the phone, but the calls only last 15 minutes. So I got both phones, but I'm on one phone. When it hit the beep and about to go off, I pick up the other phone and dial. So she don't gotta hang up, you know what I'm saying? So she's hear me dialing on the other phone, but she click onto the other line, and she clicks onto the other line and accept the call on the other line. Then I hang up that phone and just switch over. So we don't really gotta get off the phone. You feel what I'm saying? So like that. So that's how I had both. So I had both phones like that, rocking them like that. And then I was kind of savage. I used to be there, you know what I'm saying, sitting there with the blanket on me and, you know, acting, you know, boom, you know what I'm saying, get money on the jack, you know, all of that. You know what I'm saying? Crazy, right? Boom, right? So, dudes in there, they was kind of like the Richmond dudes. They knew I caught my case in Richmond, so a lot of them knew who I was from the street or knew of me. So they knew my name. So they're like, oh, okay, you Murdah. Oh, so whatever. So they knew of me or whatever. So they knew who I was or whatever. My case made the news and the papers out there. So, you know, dudes knew who I was or whatever. I was in the city. City ain't all that big. So when you in a little city like that, your name ringing, you doing numbers, your name gonna ring or whatever. So they knew me. So I was cool with some of them. So they kind of like embraced me. So I was messing with some of them. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I still was an outsider. But dudes was respecting me because I was super aggressive. And I took over the little phones, and I took over the TV, and I used to turn the TV off, and I used to take the Monopoly game, and nobody could play the Monopoly game. I had the Monopoly game, all of the games in my room, and my cell, I had them under my bed. My cellie was this Jamaican dude named Colonel. He said he used to live in Far Rockaway, New York, but he had a car shop out of Richmond. You know what I'm saying? Dude named Colonel, older Jamaican dude. He was my cellie. And so we was in there, and so everything was everything. But one day I was messing with this little dude named Shard. He was from Southside in Richmond or whatever. He was my little man. He was cool, but you know, I used to be on what I was on or whatever, my dominance or whatever. So I went out there, and they had the TVs. Now the TVs that they had used to have, they was the ones that still had the back on them with the tube. You feel what I'm saying? They had big TVs, but they were sitting on a big shelf, and they had tubes in them and whatever. You know what I'm saying? But they was color TV, they had cable or whatever. But I would go and turn the TV off and tell nobody don't touch the TV, don't turn the TV on. And you know, I take them when they bring in the newspaper, the daily newspaper. I take all the newspapers, the games, all of that stuff be in my cell, and I be in there sleeping. You feel what I'm saying? Like, yo, don't nobody touch nothing. I get up there and I play Monopoly all by myself and all that. I won't let nobody touch the game. I had them dudes under siege, son. I ain't even gonna lie, right? It's a bad thing, son. And you know, a lot of time I don't be bragging. I be complaining about my behavior. But I had them under siege, son. I ain't even gonna lie, right? Let me spark this ass. So one day, you know what I'm saying, like my man Shaw, like I told you, he my man, he was my little partner, whatever, you know, me and him used to kick it or whatever, and I seen a little, you know, he used to try to show me his aggression. You know how it is when you're a real dude and dude trying to, you know, he trying to, show me that, like, yo, like, son, I get it in. Like, I'm a real dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was in the street busting my gun. Like, I'm a head buster in the street. These dudes know me. Like, son was a head, because they be having a lot of head busters out there. They be having, they put that work in on a little, with their little pistols out there in the street. Son was a little pistol man or whatever. He's a little gun man. He slang his pistol or whatever. He's a cowboy, I guess. And he wanted me to know that he wanted me to recognize him, because he definitely recognized me. Be about recognition sometimes, not respect. So, I go and I have the TV. I'm mad that day. I just finished. I'm gonna tell you what happened. I went to go play Monopoly. Now I remember. I went to go play Monopoly, and I sat at the table with my Monopoly game. Brought the game out, the unit Monopoly game, and I set out to play it. And I had left it out the other day, and I came and got it, but I didn't know, son. Somebody, because it was kids in there, the young boys or whatever. But they know how I get, whatever. They went and they stole the properties, son. They stole the properties, and they must have got rid of them because I went cell to cell searching for them. You know what I'm saying? They stole the properties. They must have ripped them up and flushed them down the toilet or something, son. You hear me? But they stole the properties, so I couldn't play my Monopoly game, son. They got me, son. They like tough running around here trying to bully us. We got something for his Monopoly playing behind. And they went ahead and they stole my Monopoly property, son. So I couldn't play the game. So I'm peed off now. So I go into my cell. I turn off the TV, punishing the unit. Y'all want to take my properties? Y'all chumps nobody better not touch this TV. Nobody better not touch them phones. I took the phones off the hooks, both phones, but they didn't come off. You know how they be wired to the thing, but I took them off the hook. Like, don't touch them. Don't touch them phones. Don't touch that TV. I better not hear it come on. Don't nothing. Don't ask for the paper, ask for a game or nothing. No, the whole unit. So they all out there pouting because they ain't got to watch TV. They can't do nothing now, right? And I'm going my cell and go to sleep, right? I'm on the first two floors, like almost 2 floors. So I'm on the first floor and I'm in the bed. But my cell is the one right by the little shower, little ball junk shower they got, and then right next to it, against the wall, was the 2 phones, right? But the way the police is out here in these units here, son, they don't be in the units. Like how New York be, they don't be in the unit. They be behind the glass and you can't even see them. They be in a booth and they be manning like 2 or 3 units. They don't, you know what I'm saying? They don't even be in the units like that. They come in the unit to do the count. Or when they lock you, they come in the unit, you don't even be in the unit when they come in there. You don't be out the cell. Usually when they come in there, is when you in the cell. You feel me? Or if they coming up in there because there's a alarm, somebody set an alarm off or whatever. But you know what I'm saying? They don't even come in there to serve when they bring chow. They come to the front of the unit. They got a slot that's in the hallway, and they serve you through the slot in the hallway into the unit. You feel me? So the police don't even be in the unit like that. The what's name might come and do a round. They come in there and they walk like with a captain or something like that, or a white shirt, whoever the supervisor is. When he come to do a job, that's when they might come in there and walk around the unit, then walk up the stairs or whatever while you're in the unit. That's the only time, matter of fact. So this is how the whole thing happened, right? So I'm mad and I go in the cell and I turn off the TVs and all of that stuff. Like I said, the TV off and all of that. So while I'm in there, I hear the what's the name? I'm in the bed sleep. I hear the TV come on. Now you know how them old TVs are. You could hear them come on and off because tube. You feel what I'm saying? And since it's quiet, so I hear the tube come on, and that joint woke me up my sleep, son. You hear me? So I popped up, get up, and I'm like, yo, who turned the TV on? Come on, my cell. I go over there across the unit, boom, because the unit kind of small. It's getting small, but it got 2 floors. It's probably like, and there's 2 men in each cell, like was it all 2-man cells? It could have been some 3-man, 4. I don't know, but I know it probably like in that unit, it probably like 60 people, probably 70 people. Let me see, probably like it kind of been at least good 60 to 80 people. I'm not sure, but it was probably 60 people right in that unit. But however it went, they go up. I come out there and I'm like, yo, what's up? Who turned on the TV? Shard is over there. Right, so I see him standing there, and he was like, "Yo, Murdah was just trying to he was trying to see the scheduling. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you know how to, when you come on the schedule, the like got that channel where the what they call it, the TV guide,
Yeah.
the TV guide channel. He was trying to see that to see what come on later. So when I turned the TV back on, he know what he wanted to watch or whatever. This is he trying to explain to me. I know that now, but at the time I wasn't trying to hear nothing. So I seen TV was on. I got mad. So yeah, y'all want? I said okay. I went in my room and got a glass of water. Came right back up and poured water in the TV, and the whole thing just blew up. You hear me, son? And on everything, son, I blew up the TV, son. So boom, dudes are in their bodies, son. You know how I be in prison, son. Dudes don't be having nothing but the TV sometimes, son. You feel me? So I just blew up the tube, son. It's bad enough that I was pressing dudes and wasn't letting dudes watch the TV but at certain times, and I ain't even watch it. You feel me? But I just wanted to show them who was in control, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, the men from the boys, like, yo, I'm the alpha. Like, yo, this is my unit. You know how I go, right? I was an idiot, but at the same time, son, dudes was mad. They was in their body, and so it was a few dudes in there that they respected. They feel like was somebody or whatever. And it was one dude that was there that they was kind of some dude. Can't remember his name. He was from Richmond. He had braids in his hair, whatever. And he was kind of a little stocky dude or whatever. And he, you know what I'm saying? You know how prison dude it be about sometimes about size and stocky dudes and all. You know how it be because dudes be junkies in the street, cold crackheads. They come to prison, you know what I'm saying, eat a couple of hot meals, you know what I mean, and do a couple of push-ups and blow up. You come to the county and they got the joint under siege, you know what I'm saying? But in the streets, they smoking more crack, and you could put your foot up there behind or whatever than a little bit, you know what I'm saying? You know how that used to be. So dudes be a little puffed up, and you don't know, they might be junkies in the street, you know what I'm saying? So it ain't nothing, but dude was kind of puffed up or whatever. But I'm gonna tell you this thing: they was mad or whatever, and when they was mad or whatever, they was all running around the unit acting stupid, you know, saying whatever they was saying. But then the whole thing came at the what's name came in the unit for a round, the white shirt or whatever. And when the white shirt came into the unit, they had handed her some notes. Was a broad. Now the thing is, they handed her some notes. I peeped the whole move, but the thing is, I had went upstairs and made rounds myself early and just try to get the check the temperature of dudes after I did what I did. So I went to one cell, and this dude, he was from Richmond. He was kind of cool with me. This dude named Bobo, and he was from Southside. And son had a couple of dudes up in his room. And they was all up in there. And son, you know, he was a dude. He was getting a little paper in the street. He had a fair charge. He was getting a couple of dollars or whatever. And dudes knew who he was or whatever. But, you know, son wasn't no alpha. Son wasn't, like, you know, he could probably been the dude that bust his gun in the street and all of that. But son, not a, you know, he's not, you know, when you separate him from that, he's not a gorilla. You know what I'm saying? So whatever. Son ain't really like that, really. In that type of setting, he can't dominate that type of setting. Like his masculinity is not like, you know, for real, son. Like, you know, he's not a fag or nothing, but son, I do. But son doesn't. He's like, if I'm in the room with him, he's gonna know like the 99% of the, you know, male population. They're gonna know either that I'm their equal or I'm their superior. You feel what I'm saying? So if I'm in the room with men, it's like, you're gonna, like, I'm gonna recognize you. Like, if you're alpha, I'm gonna recognize like you're a man and you're alpha, and you deserve all of the respect, and and I know that if I bring you a move, I gotta bring it to you right. You know what I'm saying? And you gonna know if you're gonna bring me a move, you gotta bring it to me right, because you know you're dealing with a man. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if I'm in the room, you know, with anybody. You know what I'm saying? With Hitler, Obama, with, you know what I'm saying, El Chapo. You know what I'm saying? Supreme, or I don't care who's I'm in the room with. You know what I'm saying? I'm walking the room with them. It don't make a difference who you is, what, you know, news channel they been on, how many bodies they got, how well they know about what dudes, Big Meech, Little Meech, whoever. You feel what I'm saying? I'm in a room with you. You're going to recognize that you're in a room with a man, and I'm going to grab my nuts and be like, yo, what's up? And you're going to be like, yo, what's up? And I'm going to be like, yo, what's up? And you're going to be like, yo, son, is a dude. I'll be like, yo, if you a dude, I'll be like, yo, son is a dude. Or I'll be like, yo, son ain't really that dude. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to recognize if you ain't really that dude when, you know what I'm saying, you ain't hiding behind the mask. You feel me? When you ain't hiding by the mask or the reputation or the misperception or whatever type of perception you have out there in society to make people to believe you are. I'm gonna see who you are when I'm in the room with you and look you in your eyes. I'm gonna know if I'm dealing with a soldier, a general, or just a peasant. You feel what I'm saying? So that's how it goes. So anyway, to move on, I was in the joint, and so when them dudes seen what was going on, and I seen them up in there, and they was congregating, son. And I'm like, yo, these people congregating, bro. And I'm like, yo, it ain't nothing though. When they in there, I walk by and go downstairs. And when the bro come in, somebody handed one of the dudes they sent the little soldier, and he's handed the broad the notes. So I'm looking at it because they supposed to be like cop, you know, like a call out slip, like you putting in the slip, like to see medical, or you need to put in the slip to go to library. It was them type of slips, but they wrote notes on them, and they gave her the stats. So I said something funny. So she walking up the steps, she reading them as she walk up the steps, son, on everything, son. I'm walking behind her, son, reading the notes, but looking at her behind. The people see me, but nobody saying nothing. They like, oh shoot, he walking behind her. She looking at the notes. I'm over her shoulder, so she don't even see me. I'm looking at the notes with her. I'm reading the notes, son. They in the notes saying all type of stuff about me, son. They talk about that I be on the phones, don't let nobody use the phones, and I be on the phones masturbating, that I'm the one that what's his name, broke the TV, that I be in there trying to extort people, which was lies, saying that I be bullying people, which was true, right? But they were saying all type of stuff, son, and I'm looking at them because she's going through it, and I'm reading them, son. I'm looking at them. I'm like, these dudes just actually told on me right there in front of my face, passed notes on me. So I'm like, oh shoot. So she go and she leave out the unit. So when she leave out the unit, you already know, I'm peed off now, son. I am mad. So I'm trying to see when did these dudes go and get this dude up. Okay, so now, after I broke the TV, did the broad come before? She came after that, but these dudes, when did they try to jump me, bro? Okay, this is when they try to jump me. So now, these dudes, after the broad leave and all of that, you know what I'm saying? I give my little speech or whatever about these dudes going to the police on me. And I'm like, oh yeah, y'all going to police on me? Whatever. So these dudes go and they go and the dude that I told you, he just came in. I don't know where he came from, court or medical, whatever, he came in. So they go to him, and next thing you know, all of them dudes come out. All of them dudes start putting on their little shoes. You know, they be walking around with slippers and stuff on. So they start putting little shoes on, because you could bring. That's the only you be in striped suits there. You be in the stripes. You know what I'm saying? Like a real prisoner, like with the black and white stripes. Yeah. You have those on, but with your regular footwear. That's how they dress you in that county. You have your street footwear, but with the stripe, two-piece, like pants and shirt, the stripe joints, the black and white stripes. So dudes start throwing on their shoes and all of that. So I was like, okay, they want some smoke. So they like, yo, we tired of you. We tired of you. They was coming up to me, we tired of you. You getting out of here. You getting out of here. So my cell was on the first floor in the corner, like I told you. So I was like, yo, come on then. So I backed up in my cell, and I was like, anybody want to bring it? Come on, anybody want? I told them, son, listen, because this is the situation. So I ain't even have no knife, son, but let me show you something. I told these dudes, because now you in the cell door is small, so you know how a cell door be sometimes the size of a regular door. It be cell, but then the door part where you gotta come into, it be a regular size door. So I'm like, yo, anybody step through this door, because I'm in my cell is kind of big. I'm like, the first dude come through this door, I'm putting out. I said, whoever come through this door, one by one, as y'all come through, y'all getting put out. You know what I'm saying? Because the cell is big enough for me to move, but it's too small for dudes to really rush me up in there. So when you come in there, you have to walk through that door. You have to run right into my fist. You feel me? on my foot. So you coming in there, son, you're gonna get beat up one at a time. So dudes, they didn't want the smokes, but they all outside my door, just huffing and puffing. Like, we're gonna get you. Like, I'm like, these dudes is really funny. So they got but now listen, son, but it's everybody. It's the country boys, the Richmond dudes. It's everybody together. You feel what I'm saying? I don't see Shaw with them, but he, him and Bobo cool because they both from Southside. But Shaw know what it is, though, because son was already mad because he the one that made me blow the TV out, and he knew that. He came to my cell, was like, "Yo, son," after I blew it out, he's like, "Yo, bro, man, you know I'm the one that turned on the TV. That's when he told me I was just trying to see the schedule, what's the name, the TV schedule, son, so I could see whatever. And I was like, son, I don't care, son, but if you do that, son, you're gonna make dudes think that anybody could do it, son. And then, you know what I'm saying, then what, son? Then I look like a fool. Then I look powerless, because if I go and I say that nobody touch it, then somebody touch it and I don't do nothing, son, then I'm faking a move, son. I can't put something out there and don't follow through. You know how that goes, son. You feel what I'm saying? That's like you tell son, like, yo, you take the phone off the hook, like, yo, if anybody touch this, first dude touch this, I'm gonna put that knife in him. Now, what happened if somebody touches, son? What you suppose? You got it. You force. You just, son. If you don't do it, son, that's it. Your brain is over, son.
Yeah, it's like when you step up to the plate as a baseball player, and you point your bat like you gonna hit a home run. Now you gotta hit that home run, nigga.
You gotta hit the home. You can't be the Babe Ruth and point at the stands and don't come through, and you come through with a ground rule double, son. Nah, dudes ain't looking at you like, yo, son, your brain on top was short like leprechaun, bro. It's over. You feel me? So I was like, yo, man, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going, you know what I mean? I'm going to take care of the situation. And that's why I blew up the TV or whatever. Dudes ain't like it or whatever. So now they got me in the cell, and I'm in the cell. I'm like, Colonel over there, he in the cell with me. He's like, yo, Star, yo, Murdah, you wild. Yo, you have the people outside the cell. Yo, you wild. Yo, I'm like, yo, Colonel, shut the F up, bro. I'm like, yo, son, I'm going to beat these dudes up. You going to help me? I'm trying to like, yo, you going to help me, old man, or what? You sitting there and talking about bringing drama to the cell, man, shut up before I beat you up. But son was alright, you know what I'm saying? But the other dude from New York, son had came through, was like, yo, son, what's up? I was like, yo, because after that, they was ready to lock dudes down for child. But dudes never came to the cell. They fell back or whatever, and they fell all the way back, like they seen nothing happen. So they calmed down or whatever. Dudes was thinking the police was gonna come because dudes be on camera, even though police don't be in the unit. So they was about to bring child. So now they blink the lights in the unit or whatever, let dudes know they got to go in their cell because they're about to get ready for child or whatever. So you go in your cell for a quick second while that's set up outside. Then you come out and you line up at the window to get your food. So when they bust the cells right back open, we out. Young boy from New York come through, and he come through and he's like, yo, Murdah, yo, this is what the business is. He's like, yo, he let me know, like, yo, son, I seen anything that popped off. Like, yo, son, if you know what I'm saying, pop off, son, I'm gonna go with you. And I ain't really know something like that, but we was cool, you know what I'm saying, because we both from the town. And I'm like, all right, cool, son, if that's what you want to do, son, but, son, I'm going to handle these dudes, bro. I said, yo, I just want you to hold me down, because it was a dude in there, and his name was Blue, right? And Blue was from the county, but, son, used to kick it with me like he was cool with me. All of them did. You feel what I'm saying? But on the low, son won't run in them notes because I've seen his name on the note. But dudes were signing the notes, you know what I'm saying? And I seen his name on one of the notes. I seen his government. So I was like, dudes signed the slips, their names. So I was saying their names. So I know son wrote one of the notes. So I was like, yo, I'm going to get son. I'm like, I'm going to get him. I'm going to put him out. You know what I'm saying, son? And at that time, I was young, strong, bold still. You know what I'm saying? So I know if I touch something, you know what I'm saying, with the tip of my knuckles, that it's going out. You feel what I'm saying? I know I was going to knock. I'm not going to beat him up. I'm going to knock him out, son. I'm going to knock him. I know I'm going to knock, because I'm going to go. He going to think ain't nothing. He going to be standing there, and I'm just going to steal him. And if I steal you, you're going out. This ain't no say. If I steal you, you don't go out. Something wrong with me, bro. You feel what I'm saying, bro? So I know I'm going to flat, son. I'm going to flatline him. So I'm like, told son, I'm like, yo, so I'm going to flatline the dude, Blue. I'm going to go over there and I'm going to just line him up. I'm going to line him up. When I line him up, and you're going to see me line him up, and then I'm going to put him out. He's like, yeah. So I said, and whatever happened from there is what happened. So when everybody came out, whatever, son was over there sitting at the table, like at the table playing chess or whatever with somebody. They was all out there, whatever. You know, ain't no TV in there. I done broke the TV, so they out there playing little games or whatever. So I go out there and yeah, because I done whatever. I done that. You know, some of the games out there. You know already. You know, because I told you I used to have the games, but I had let some of the games out there, whatever. So they were playing with them, chess, checkers, and stuff like that. But the Monopoly game was going, the TV game was going, or whatever. So he was over there sitting down at the table like he was playing chess. So I went over there and I was trying to line him up. And like I was standing over him to like line him up where I could just look at his jaw, just like get a direct, you know what I'm saying, straight, nice power, you know what I'm saying, punch with jaw where I know I'm going to shake his brain in his head and he going to go to sleep and everybody going to be like, yo, you got knocked up, you feel what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, I'm a night son, right? Like, so, boy, I'm a night. So, I was trying to line him up, but son figured he felt the tension. So when I was trying to line him up, he got up from the table, right? When he got up from the table, and he was sitting down at the table with the dude that I told you that they was all respected. They thought they was going to move behind him, and since they was going to move behind him, like they had some strength with him. So he was sitting down at the table, and dude got up. Instead of, I didn't even steal him, so I just said, you know what? I sat down with dude at the table, and I was like, yo, bro, let me tell you something, bro. I don't know why these dudes is all up in your ear bringing you like it's some drama because I broke the TV. Yeah, I broke the TV because the dudes stole my Monopoly pieces. I said, but did you know that these dudes, did they tell you they dropped notes? Did you know that these dudes went to the police on me? I said, bro, if you a real dude, bro, and you know that these dudes went to the police on me and you don't honor that, bro, don't go out with these dudes. So don't become my enemy over these dudes, bro. And you know these dudes ain't right, bro. And you know that. You feel me? So dude was like, word. I'm like, yeah, bro, they both know, because he didn't even know that part. Remember I told you he had just came in from wherever he came from, court or whatever. So, dude was like, the dude, Blue, he left up to Bobo. Talking about, yo, Bobo. Bobo came up because he was on sex line, like, yo, what's up? He said, yo, did I write one of them notes? He's like, nah, Blue, you ain't write one. Like, come on, bro. Y'all would have been in a cell together. Now, like, he know who wrote what note or whatever. So I'm like, whatever, man. He's like, you ain't right when I ain't trying to hear none of that. You know what I'm saying? So son sat back down, and when son sat back down, I said, yo, son, word up, son. So he sat back down on the other side of the table. So all three of us sit at the table now. So I'm like, yo, son, this dude right here, son is a cold punk. He's a broad, and I will beat you up. And so, right, and I told him that straight up at the table with dude there, and told him like, yeah, I know dude, but I'm letting you know, son, dude with dude, but I'm letting you know he's a broad, and I'll beat him up. And son was like, what? He said, yo, he told dude, he said, yo, you gonna let dude just talk to you like that, bro? He's like, no, man, what's up? So he got up like he wanted to fight or something like that. As soon as he got up, I just got up and rushed him. Bing, bing, scooped him up, slammed him, boom. And when I slammed him, he tried to get up, I caught him, boom. You know what I'm saying? Dropped them again. And when I was doing that, I seen everybody from my peripheral and from both my, everybody started throwing their shoes on now. Everybody started, all of the dudes that was with them earlier, all of the dudes started, lacing up again. You know what I'm saying? Like they was trying to jump me. So now I'm like, oh shoot, they gonna try to jump me. So after I did that, I backed up. But I'm on the other side of the unit, not with my cell, I had another dude's cell. So I don't even know whose cell it is. I back up in his cell though. The cell on the other corner. And dude come over there with me now. The other young boy, the young boy from New York, remember? He said he gonna go out with me. So son right there. So we there in the whole unit now, them dudes got us surrounded again. Now me and dude cells. I'm like, yo, like I said before, bro, whoever wanna come, just bring it, son. Just bring it. So they all like there faking move, and they just standing there, but Blue hitting them like, come on, tapping them like on some kid stuff, like tapping them. They got us around, and he tapping like, yo, come on, let's get him. I'm like, yo, come on. So he's like, you know what? And he didn't want no smoke. He backed up, and then he said something to do with me. They're like, you Jay, you need to mind your business, cause dude's ready to do something to you anyway, but you don't got nothing to do with this. So he's like, what? Who you talking to, Blue? Yeah, I'm talking to you. He said, so what's up? What you trying to do? So Blue like, what's up? So now they start fighting. Now the tension is off of me.
He said that to who? To the kid that was going out with you?
Yeah, he said that to him. Like, yo, dude trying to see you anyway. You need to mind your business. Dude trying to see you anyway. Because they feel like son from New York and son is in my business. And they like, he don't got nothing to do with it. He should mind his business. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But son like, yo, whatever. And he's like, yo, whatever y'all trying to do. So he said, I'm trying to, so son and him ready to square off. So they said, okay. I said, so you want to square off with son? I said, son, beat him up. So he starts squaring off with son now. Now I but you see, I done already trounced him real quick in a split second. Boop, boop, bop, boop. And now he about to fight son. But son is a little slim dude, son. And son is kind of, he cut up, but he's slim. Like I told you, he doing mad pull-ups. That's how I met. He was doing mad pull-ups in the spot off of the, tier and all of that, stairs and all of that. So, son square off with him though. So son kind of fast, but son the country boy. He got to know that country strength, right? So son kind of like dominating him with the strength, throwing blows at him. They're like, yeah, Blue. He throwing blows at him. And the blows he throwing is haymakers, and they kind of like, they not catching son, but you could tell they like rocking son, like moving him back. Like his strength is like he more powerful than son. He's like overpowering them. But then son is throwing them little jabs at him, trying to hit him, but he missed. So they like, yeah, Blue, get him. Blue, don't mad blows at him, trying to rush him. So then Blue go, and they wound up grabbing each other. And then when they grabbed each other, they twisted around, and they fell on top of one of the tables. One of the, the food, the tables in the unit, they fell on top of the table. When they fell on top of the table, they twisted around so fast, they fell on it. When they fell on it with all their weight, it happened to be Blue on the bottom. So the wind got knocked out of him. You feel me? So when the wind got knocked out of him, they got him off the table. You could see he was kind of like windy because he used up a lot of his strength, and then the wind got knocked out of him, so he was tired. And son caught him, bop! And dude's like, oh shoot! Then son caught him again, bop, bop, bop! It looked crazy, son. Son just started tagging him, son. I'm like, oh shoot! Son was just catching him, son. Son was catching him, bing, 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 just catching him. And the son went over there. He brought a phone. Son grabbed the phone off the hook and caught him with the phone. But while it was still attached to the wire, but they by the phone and just grabbed and caught him, bop, with the phone. And they was like, no, you can't use it in the weapon. You can't use nothing, So they all rushed over there. So I rushed over, like, nah, break it up, then break it up. So then they all broke it up, whatever, boom. And the joint was, the joint was done with. Son went ahead and got beat up by both of us basically that day. Dudes didn't want no more smoke. I broke the TV. All of that stuff was done, right? And I'm thinking that is all a done deal. But the next day, the police come and they take me to the shoe, of course. You feel what I'm saying? They take me to the shoe, and I go to the shoe, and they's like, yo, people saying that, the stuff that was in the thing, saying that I'm the one that broke the TV, and I was doing all of this and doing all of that or whatever. And, I was in a joint, but the shoe was sweet there. Anybody ever been to in RJ, Warsaw, Northern Neck Regional, they'll tell you the shoe, you got phones in your cell. You feel me, son?
That's crazy.
You got phone in your cell in the shoe in E Block. So, but it's crazy. They got two shoes, and one shoe is sweet, and the other one is like torture. The other one, they take all your property, everything from you, give you nothing but a piece of paper and a pencil, a half a pencil, a Bible, one of the little hand Psalm Bibles, one sheet of paper a day with a half a pencil. You don't get no envelope or nothing. They just give you that. You don't get your books, your legal work. You don't get nothing. You don't get no property, nothing.
That's nuts. So they just sent you to the box and you still...
Yes. Oh no, I went to the box. I was in the box. Who winds up coming in there? Shard. He winds up coming in. He's my cellie. And we talking about the situation or whatever. So whatever, I wound up getting out the box or whatever. I do whatever time they gave me in the box or whatever. They try to get me to try to pay for the TV and all of that other stuff. Whatever. But dude, he took a light on me or whatever because I was a federal prisoner or whatever. And it was a little county jail. Dude took a light on me and they put me in another unit. You know what I'm saying? They wound up sending me to another unit that they, thought was probably a little bit tougher. It was D block or whatever, D pod. I went up in there and, and was my regular self. And as soon as I stepped in there, I established myself immediately. You already know, with the jack and with the, with the little dominance in the unit, whatever, made my, presence known. And so dudes was there. They was, respecting me and honoring me or whatever. And at that time, I thought I could play a little bit of basketball, right? And we went to this little gym. And this county jail, right, it was a lot. It was DC dudes there, too. It was one dude that had his whole unit. It was dude from DC. DC dudes now, too. I met the dude. His name was Kevin Gray. Like, he kind of like a legend out there in DC. DC dudes, they'll know him. His name is Kevin Gray. He had his own unit in Warsaw because I guess he was like the dangerous dude in the streets, and they felt that, they couldn't have him in DC jail, and that they wanted to monitor him because they felt that he was making hits or calling hits over the phone and all type of stuff. You feel what I'm saying? So he was there with his own unit, and they had a little
his own unit? He was the only inmate in the whole unit?
the whole unit. They his own unit. Everybody know if they was ever in Warsaw back in 2001, 2002, they'll tell you that in 2003 they'll tell you that Kevin Gray was in Warsaw and he had his own unit. They couldn't have him. They separated him from everybody. They took him out of DC jail, brought him there, and had him separate from everybody. He had his own unit in Warsaw. And I met him. I talked to him and all of that. He don't look like he wound up being up north, not up north, but in the feds with me when I was in Terry Hut. He was over in Terry Hut in the pen. But if you see the dude, like, how you be hearing about dudes and you be picturing them in your mind because you hear their reputations, and then when you see them, they don't really fit the description. You feel what I'm saying? Son, one of them type dudes. He don't really fit the description of his reputation. Like when you see him, he look like a nerdy dude, big old head, glasses, big glasses on and stuff like that. And son was like a super gangster out there in the streets, like really, you know what I'm saying, about his work.
I'm gonna give y'all a jewel. In life, you get what you pay for. Bottom line. You want to be seen by thousands of people? Pay me for some promo, and I'll make sure thousands of people know who you be. And that's a fact. Simple as that.
That orange pepper spray, son, that stuff made from cayenne, son, that was the worst. I thought I died, son. Yeah, so I was playing a little ball, and so dude threw up the ball like to throw me like a oop or whatever. I could catch the oop, but I could catch the joint, and you know what I'm saying, and lay it. When I catch it in the air, I could catch it and then just lay it in. I couldn't catch it and flush it or nothing, but I could catch it and lay it in. I still had a little legs on me or whatever. So he threw it up. I caught the joint, and I like tried to lay it in, but when I came down on somebody's foot and broke my foot. You feel what I'm saying? So my foot was actually fractured, but I didn't know how bad it was. But when I came down on it, I heard it snap, and it was in so much pain, bro. I was in pain. So I'm knocking on the window to tell the police to come because I need to go to medical. So they come and get me, and I hop all over to medical. And when I get there, the doctor was like, yo, I got to pay $10 for him to see me. And I'm like, yo, pay $10 for you to see me, bro? He's like, yeah, because you're a federal inmate. I said, bro, I have an emergency. I need to be seen. This is an emergency. I don't got to pay for an emergency, bro. This is not no regular, like, call out or nothing. Like, no regular, me putting for sick call where I got to pay for it. No, bro. This is an emergency. I just broke my foot, I think, bro. Can you see me? He's like telling them I got to sign the papers. I'm like, I'm not signing nothing. I told the officer, man, take me back to the block. I'm in pain. I'm ready to smack the doctor's teeth out of his mouth. I'm like, yo, man, the officer took me. I said, yo, bro, take me back to the unit, bro. Take me to my unit, bro. So he's like, all right, man, come on. So he's like, I'm taking him back to the unit. So he going and he started walking me down a long hallway back to my unit. So as I'm walking, I'm hopping. He grabbed my arm. I'm like, yo, bro, don't grab my arm. I got this, bro. Don't touch me. He's like, yo, man, just come on. So he said, you don't got to talk to me like that. I said, you don't got to touch me, bro. Don't touch me. Don't grab my arm. I didn't ask you to help me, bro. Don't touch me, bro. So he's like, yo, just come on. He said, you keep it up, man. I'll tell you could go right there to the shoe. I said, I don't care about no shoe. What you think man, I don't care about no shoe, bro. Who you think you talking to, bro? So he's like, okay, so as we was walking by the block, because my block was D block, so we had to walk by S and E, and you got to go through S. They open up the gate to go through E block to go to the shoe. So he's like, yo, when we walk by there, he's like, yo, crack the gate, crack S gate. So he said, come on in. I said, you ain't saying nothing. So I hopped up in there. So he told him, crack the shoe gate. So the gate start opening. When the gate start opening, he grabbed me by my arm again to pull me in there. So when he grabbed me by my arm, I pieced him up. I gave him like a 5-6 piece. You feel what I'm saying, son?
The police?
Yeah, son. Come on, son. He grabbed my arm. As soon as he grabbed my arm, I told him, son, as soon as he grabbed my arm, I caught him. Bing, 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 bing. Son, I caught him all in the forehead, son, too. Right? Boom, right? So I rocked him. So I rocked them with a nice little, little light 6-piece, no fries, right? And then when I did that, they came out the thing, and I walked in right at the shoe gate was open. I just walked in there, and they locked me in there and pressed the alarm. He slid up out of there, so I'm locked in there by myself. All them dudes in the shoe cell. It's a table down there. I guess when they let dudes out the cell, they sit at like a kitchen table, like it's with the seats on them, 3 on one side, 3 on the other. So I remember my leg is hurt. So dudes like, yo, they all wilding out because they seen what happened. Because remember the shoe gate was open, so dudes seen what was going on. So they like, yo, yelling like, yo, the shoe nigga, what's going on? So I'm up in the joint. I sit down at the table. So when I'm sitting at the table, they all rush in there now. The police come in with the captain and all of them, whoever they are. When they come in there, they got a big bottle of pepper spray. It looked like a what you call them things? A fire extinguisher. That's how big it is. Like a miniature fire extinguisher, son. I'm like, what the heck is that? They got that joint. He's like, get up, get against the wall. Get against the wall. I'm like, yo, listen, Captain, I'm like, yo, listen, man, your officer put his hands on me. He said, you put your hands on my arm. I said, your officer put your hands on me, man. My foot is broke. He put his hands on me. I'm sitting there trying to talk to him, lads. I'm like, yo, he put his hands on me. Bro, da-da-da. Yeah, no baby. I'm talking. And I was like, yo, yeah, Captain, you going to spray me. You just do what you got to do, but I'm letting you. As I was talking, he sprayed me. Son. What you call that stuff? Mace or nothing like that, son. It wasn't mace, yo. Or nothing like this. Was pepper spray. This was that orange pepper spray, son. If anybody ever been sprayed with that orange pepper spray, son, that stuff's made from cayenne, son, that was the worst. I thought I died, son.
Yo, my nigga 16 to life. That's
son.
Another YouTuber on here. He got an episode where he said he got sprayed with that shit. He said that shit was like hell on earth, nigga.
Son, they sprayed me with that joint, son. I didn't know what the hell. I was blind. I couldn't breathe. They dragged me to R&D, to the reception area. Like when you first come in, when you first come in from court or whatever, took me over there. They had a shower over there. They threw me up in the shower to try to help me. I couldn't breathe in the water. They got the stuff on me. My whole body burning up. I'm blind. I can't breathe. I think I'm going to die. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the heck going on. Next thing you know, they got me up in the shoe. I'm up in the cell. They got me butt naked with a doggone carton, with a whole crate full of carton milk. And told me, they locked me in the cell and told me to take the milk and pour it on my body. It's supposed to cool me down, cool the stuff down. Everything, my balls, my behind, everything is burning. My underarms, my ears, everything is burning, son. Because they put me in the shower, so all the stuff did was run down my body. And then my whole, listen, son. Son, they got me, son. So now I'm in the shoe. I'm what's the name? So the dude, like 2 days later, they wrote me the shot for all of the stuff, for the assault police and all of that, whatever. He come to the cell, he hollered at me. He's like, yo, I'm not going to press charges against you. He showed me the little knots on his forehead and all of that. He's like, yo, man, he said he would have looked at my thing, because I was already sentenced then. I had my little 30 piece or whatever. He was like, he came and, he told me, we was talking and stuff, and he's like, yo, we both, kind of like apologized for the aggression or whatever. But, he took in his stride. They smashed me with some time to go to the shoot. But he could have pressed charges on me, because they asked me if he wanted to press charges on me. He could have gave me, a case. He could have cased me up. But he was like, nah, he showed me the knots and everything. He took off his little baseball cap and showed me the knots and everything I put on his forehead. He was cool about it. But, I pieced them up or whatever, and they wound up sending me to that shoe I told you about, where they take everything from you. So I'm going from that shoe with the phone in it, and they sent me to that shoe, and that shoe was torture. I used to be in there, bro, kicking the doors, man, begging the police to give us jelly packs, because we used to be starving. They starve you in that joint. Kicking the door like, yo, please bring us some jelly packs, something, man, I'm hungry. Can I get the jelly pack?
That shit
yeah,
that shit
man.
Fucked up, man. How they be doing niggas in them boxes, man. Real
son,
quick.
I was so starving in this, and I started hallucinating, son. I had a dream that I was Spider-Man, son. Real talk. No joke, son. I got up, son. I woke up, son. I tried to sling a web on the wall, man. I ain't lying, bro. Man, I was so. It's like when you on the desert, son, and you so hungry, son. They starved you in there, son, for real, son. I was sleeping. I was in there, and I'm dreaming. I'm thinking, and I'm like, yo, I'm Spider-Man, and I know something that happened, and I had caught the villain, and I had webbed him up and hung him from the store, right? And I went in the store, and I was trying to buy something from the store, and all the people was clapping. It was like, yo, it's Spider-Man. He just caught the villain. They was like, go to the front of the line. So everybody was letting me go to the front of the line in the store. And next thing you know, I woke up and I felt like I was still Spider-Man. I was like drowsy, and I looked at the wall, and I looked at the hand, and I went and like put my fingers like you try to string a web, but ain't nothing come out. And I was like, yo, I'm tripping. I'm like, yo, I gotta get something to eat. Yeah, man. But that was my story, son, about little excursions I had in that little prison, man. Right. I had that.
So let me ask you though, how long did it take before that pepper spray finally wore off? Did the milk shit work?
Son, I guess everything was time. I don't know if the milk stuff worked. It probably did, because I used the whole cart, the whole crate. You know, the crate be having like what, 24 milks in it. You know what I'm saying? 36 milks in it. I used that whole thing, was busting them things open, son, just pouring them things on me, trying to cool me down, son. And after a while, you know, it wore off or whatever, you know. But through that night, that joint was still burning. It was, you know, constantly wearing off. Like, instead of cleaning it off with water, you gotta clean yourself off with milk, I guess. Yeah, that's what it was, son. And yeah, man. More so was something different, bro. But like I said, I kind of like dominated that spot because it was a little county jail. So when I be getting locked up in them other states, when we going to them county jails, son, I ain't gonna lie, I be rapping. I be like, ain't no way. Because if you rep on the island, son, it's like if you rep on the island, son, imagine the borough jail holding you. Like Brooklyn, now Brooklyn House is kind of rough, Brown House kind of rough, but still, if you rep on the island, son, Brooklyn House, Tombs, Navy Yard, you know, all of that West, all of them other Bronx, all of them Queens House, all of them borough jails is play to you. You feel me? Sure, if you that was thriving in spots like the Beacon and thriving in HDM and C95, and you thrived in them real rough spots, it's like people tell you, like, you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Like, you can make it in the streets in New York, they feel you can make it anywhere. So it's like, if you can make it in New York City prisons and thrive, and the reason why you got to be able to thrive, because it's so much different people. You got to remember, New York is so overpopulated. The way prisons in New York populated, son, it ain't like that in other places, son. You feel me? Because especially places like California, like big states, you feel me? Like California, Texas, you know, Chicago.
So them other little cities and shit, it might be 5 real niggas in the whole jail. That's really...
Yeah, son. So you go to a little county jail, son, the whole jail got 500 people. Or the whole jail got 200 people. You feel what I'm saying? You go into your unit, you got 30 people in your unit, 60 people in your unit. And you used to be in a unit with 300 people, 250 people. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's like, yeah, you're in a small unit, and you know, whatever. But prison is prison. You feel me? And you know, you gotta, you know, wherever you go, if you're a real dude, son, wherever you go, man, dude's gonna recognize that, son. You're a real stand-up man, son. You're gonna live anywhere, son. You know that. You know that. You're gonna live anywhere because you ain't gonna have it. You ain't gonna have it. You're gonna be like, yo, whatever I'm standing on, I'm gonna stand on it, and I'm gonna die on it, and it is what it is. You feel what I'm saying? And you're gonna like, yo, first dude get out of line, I'm gonna pop his head off, I'm gonna hit him with something, I'm gonna take a tray, I'm gonna split his head in the middle, I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna bust him in the head with it, I'm gonna make this here, I'm gonna sharpen it, I'm gonna stab him in his eye, I'm gonna do something, and every time, and I'm gonna go to the shoe, and then every time I get out the shoe, every time a dude violate, say the smallest thing, I'm gonna pop his head off, and then reputation gonna build, and then you ain't gonna have no more problems, because dude's gonna be like, oh, son be wildin'. Don't mess with him, and dude's gonna respect you, and that's how you build your reputation, and dude's gonna leave you that mess alone. And you're gonna be able to do your bit in peace. And that's basically how it be. Unless you just want to be on some troublemaking stuff, or you want to use your, your power for evil or whatever. Some people use their power for good, because with great power comes great responsibility. And some people got reputations and they use it to like stop fights or to stop beefs or stop one dude from stabbing another. They use their influence or whatever. So they use their powers for good. Some use it for evil. It's like, yo, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm tough and I'm more dominant, and I push my knife, so I'm gonna rob dudes, I'm gonna extort dudes, and I'm gonna take dudes' weed, and I'm gonna do this and do that. So it depends on, you know, the character you are, you know, good versus evil. You know how it go.
But,
life, bro.
Yeah, so.
Up. So I was like, I was mad, son. I went, son, I got my ox on me, you know what I'm saying? I got no knife on me, but I got the ox on me. And I go right up into his unit, man, looking for him. Like, man, where this stupid dude at, man? So I go up here, up in the card room. Because it's just a really short story, you know what I'm saying, my man, he wanted to become a blood. He's from Coney Island. He was from D.C. I mean, he was from New York, but he caught his case in D.C. He's a youngster and had got a quarter. So when I met him, he already had like 17, 18 in. You feel what I'm saying? So, and he came in when he was like 17, 18. So he was like 35, 36 already with you know what I'm saying? With that time in. But he came in as young, so he was there. Son was alright. Son was from Coney Island. He used to like favor the blood dudes or whatever. You know, he was favoring them. And, you know, they was all right, you know, or whatever. And you know, he wound up dude Preem, I was in his shoe, right? And that's a whole nother story, right? I went to the shoe, right? This was before, I went to the shoe this time when prison first opened. I was the first person to get caught in that prison with a knife. I got caught with 3 knives, right? 3 ice picks, 3 big bone crushers, right? They found them in the cell, the wall of my cell behind the sink, right? And I was in a shoe form, whatever. I wound up getting out the shoe, did the time, whatever, came out the shoe. They left me on a compound, came out the shoe. Preem was there. And this is before the actual charges dropped on him, before they dropped the charges on him for him and Irvin them. Before I was actually with him when the charges dropped. Before he was doing a little 18 months or 3 years, whatever they had gave him for the pistol charge when he got caught with the gun in a Jeep or whatever up in New York. But they still had all of the evidence. They was trying to build a case against him with Irvin. They still, he was in the process of being indicted for that, and they was just using them cases to hold him. So when I got out the shoe, son was there, and you know, I never met Son before. You know, everybody here, Preem or whatever. So I never met Son before. And I see Son. And, you know, Son is a cool dude, yo. He's sitting at the New York table because, you know, we all from New York, so we all sit together. So Son sitting with he went to New York with. But he really used to, even though he was with the New York concept, the New York dudes, he used to mess with the Baltimore dudes, like the older dudes from Baltimore. Because I guess at that time, he was out there, you know, a lot of dudes from Baltimore. So he used to be rocking with some of them, was cool with them or whatever. And Son was a funny dude because Son used to go on these diets. Like, they used to be salad diets. Like, you be salad. Like, he be salad. You see him, like, go, Preem, what up? You be like, he ain't talking and show you a note. And he be on a 24-hour diet where he don't speak at all. You feel what I'm saying? And Son used to be like playing it. His thing was basketball. He played one-on-one basketball against the youngsters. You know what I'm saying? Like that. That's what he used to do. But Son was there, you know, dudes know him, know his name, and Son got a big reputation, you know, basically throughout, you know, the criminal underworld, in prison, whatever, which is a microcosm. And so when I get out the shoe, you know, my co-defendant there, a couple of dudes, my co-defendant there, he blood, he 5'9" Brim, a couple of other blood dudes there, a couple of dudes there, a couple of Crip dudes, everybody sitting at the New York table, and, you know, dudes is there, and, you know, we from Brooklyn. And, you know, Preem and them is from Queens. And, you know, the dudes there that's from Brooklyn is like, yo, we gangsters. And Preem is a dude, he a G and all of that, but dudes ain't gonna be like, you know, basically bound down to him or nothing like that, because you had dudes was there, and dudes used to like go to the salad bar, and while he on the line getting his food, they go to the salad bar putting together, you know, food, because you get food off the salad bar too. They go to the salad bar with plates, getting, you know, stuff from the salad bar already, putting it on the table for him, and go already get his juice, go get a cup and fill up his juice already, bring it to the table. So all you gotta do is go through the thing and get his regular tray and come to the table. You know what I'm saying? I ain't salty or nothing. I ain't being mad that dudes was honoring him like that or nothing like that. But I'm not serving no man like that, son. You feel what I'm saying? I don't care who he is, son. And I respect son. Son, listen, when I talk about dudes, son, that I know, son, I don't cock ride nobody or nothing like that. Or even just like with Big Dirk and none of them dudes, it ain't about me knowing these dudes. When I say I know these dudes, it ain't about me knowing them. They know me. Son know me personally. I met son and son know me personally. If you go to him and you say my name Murdah or you say MU to him, son know who I am. You feel what I'm saying? He know who I am because we developed a small relationship. You know, ain't no big thing, but son know I'm a gangster. Son know what it is. You know, he was a money man. He knew who he is, and we had a lot of conversations because I asked him a lot of questions about stuff that, you know, I was interested in, that I heard about him and heard about certain things, you know, because I did have conversations with him. You feel me? On everything, right? But anyway, son, and dudes was kind of like catering to son, and, you know, was one of them dudes was catering to him, and dudes showed the way because son's from Coney Island, he's from Brooklyn. And like, yo, son's from Queens, you know how it be, son. Even though we all together, you know what I'm saying, in the feds or whatever, still, son, you know, we from, you know what it is. So son's dude was feeling a certain way or whatever, and then plus son was sympathizing with the Bloods, and he wanted to, you know, basically, son wanted to come home. He was trying to get dudes to bring him home anyway. You feel what I'm saying? Because when Blood and all that started, he wasn't in the dumps. He wasn't in the streets, and then plus he wasn't in the New York system. So he just really getting with dudes from New York coming through the Fed system as Blood, and he trying to be Blood. You feel what I'm saying? So he sympathized with them. So they basically on his line like, yo, you got to move a certain way if you think you're gonna be, you know, rocking with us. So son was there. So, you know, one day we was in there and we was having a conversation about something at the table, and I can't even really recall what the conversation was about, but Preem was there, and son tried to show his behind and stood up at the table, like stood up on me, like, yo, what you talking about? I'm like, yo, son, who you stand? Yo, son, I would put my foot, you know what I'm saying, son, like, what? Beefing, like, all right, son, whatever, son, and all right, son, I'll holler at you, and son stomped out and marched out the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh yeah, so he left out the kitchen. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go back to the unit, and I'm gonna go ahead and bring him a move since son wanna act tough. But I know son, come on, son.
You said y'all was sitting at the table?
Yeah, so we was sitting at the table in the kitchen. We was all sitting together eating, and you know how dudes be conversating at the table and talking spit or whatever. And, you know, and me and son was talking, and me and son got into a little, you know, controversy. You know, dudes be having controversial, you know, discussions at the table. Dudes be arguing about this. You know how to be at the kitchen table, you know what I mean? And dudes all having that little conversation, debating and all of that. And me and son got into a little heated debate, and then son got into his body, you know, and tried to show off for Preem and them, and stood up on me like he was getting in his body, like he really wanted some smoke or something. About, you know what I'm saying? About because me and him got into a little heated debate. You feel me? And it was getting kind of out of hand. And son tried to but it can't get out of hand with me because you can't beat me because I'm more dominant to you. Like I would crush you, I would body bag you, I would slay you. You was not even on my level. I would rip your whole head off your shoulders. I would eat you from, son. You're not even. It's like, yo, son. It's like a pit bull against a chihuahua, like that, bro. It's not even a battle, son. And son tried to show his behind on me, son, and that got me real upset because I feel that he was trying. And I'm not saying that that's what he was doing, but I feel he was trying to show his behind in front of Preem and them. You feel me? So he went to the unit. So when I went, he was in the unit. He was actually in Preem unit. You feel what I'm saying? He's in Preem unit. I was in A2, which is on the bottom, and on top of me was A3, and on top of him was A4, and he was in A1. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it goes, like A1, A2, A3, A4. You know what I'm saying? Like that. So if there was buildings or outside, you got to go up the stairs, the outside stairs to go up to the other units, to the 3 and 4. So he was down, him and Preem was downstairs in A1, and I was across the hall, and no, they was at A2, and I was across the hall at A1. You feel what I'm saying? That's how it was. I was an A1 and they was an A2. So let me see, B1, B. Yeah, I was an A1 and they was an A2. So now he goes and he goes. So when I come with somebody standing in front of the unit, and I came and I was in front of the unit. So what's his name said, you seen somebody? So who was it? Somebody was out there and he was like, you seen? I was like, nah. He's like, I think he was looking for you. I'm like, he was looking for me? He was there. He just left the kitchen with me. You feel what I'm saying? What you mean he was looking for me? I said, oh, I'm gonna beat you up. So I was like, I was mad, son. I went, son. I got my ox on me. You know what I'm saying? I got no knife on me, but I got the ox on me, and I go right up into his unit, man, looking for him. Like, man, where this stupid dude at, man? So I go up here, up in the card room, upstairs in the little card room, playing something. It's like one of them like TV rooms with no TV in it, just some card tables upstairs. So he was in the little card room, and I walked in there. He was at the table with a dude playing whatever they was playing, cards or whatever. It's him and one other dude. So when I walked in there, he seen me, and I'm like, yo, what's up? When I said that, he jumped up at the table and tried to rush me. When he tried to rush me, I just took him and flipped him, threw him on the floor, and then took the whole table, picked it up, like put the whole table, picked the table up and smashed him with the whole table. You hear me, son? And someone's on the floor. He's like, yo, something. And he was like this, and like covering up. Please, son, no more, no more. And I was like, son, and I had on the shell toe, you know, the hard toe boot, son. And I was about to kick his teeth out of his mouth, son. I swear, son. I was about to kick his teeth out of his mouth and punish him like that. But son was from the town, and son was a alright dude, but he just got out of line, son. And he was on the floor, balled up, talking, oh, please, Murdah, no. And I told him, I said, yo, son, let me tell you something. Son, if you ever transgress against me again, son, I'm telling you, son, I'm going to rip your face off. I promise you, I will rip your face off. Don't you ever transgress again. And someone's like, all right, son, you got it. You feel me, son? And son, and I stopped myself, son, and I'm glad, son, and I'm happy with all you. I'm glad, son. One reason why I'm glad, because I was gonna kick son teeth out of his mouth, because I had on them shell toe boots, son, and I was gonna kick his teeth out of his mouth because he was on the floor and his mouth was right there, and my boot was right there, and I was like, I should kick his teeth, and it was coming to my head. I was like, no. You know what I'm saying? And that's crazy, son. And I kept seeing myself kicking his teeth out. And that, when it happened, it reminded me when I had my man tied up in the crib before, and I wanted to knock his head off, but I had a shotgun and I had a pillow, but I felt like if I shoot him like through the pillow with the shotgun, it was gonna make a noise too loud, and I couldn't really conceal the noise. And I was on the 3rd floor in the building with no elevator, and I was trying to how I could get out after making a noise and run out the crib with the gun. But when I was doing it, I kept having flashes of the newspaper article. I kept on seeing the newspaper article of me being arrested for a shotgun murder. You feel what I'm saying, son? I kept seeing it flashing in my head, bro, and I didn't kill him, son. And son, but I had him tied up, and I was about to knock his head off. And it's crazy, son. I was young. It was my man. It was a whole nother story, but that's the whole thing that flashed me when when I beat up. Flashed in my head, like I kept on flashing me, seeing me. I kept seeing me kicking his teeth out of his mouth, bro. And I had to stop myself. I said, no, don't do it. And I'm like, no, kick him, like you got them things, like one angel on one side, one angel on the other, son. And it was one was telling me bad stuff, and the other one, the shaitan, the devil, was telling me to do it, and the good one was telling me no. And I didn't do it, bro. And I spared son, bro. I spared them. And, after that, me and son was still cool. And then I wound up getting transferred a little while after that. Another story I'll tell you about what happened there. You know what I'm saying? But, how I left. But I wound up when I was in Memphis, Tennessee. I was in Memphis in the feds. And I heard that son had wound up, they wound up bringing son home. To each his own. But, that's what's up. But son was alright, dude. I'm happy I didn't kick his teeth out his mouth, but I bet you never try to show off in front of nobody else again. Not with me around.
When I was around like 4 or 5 years old, I remember my pops beating my moms. That was like ultimate violence. Like I seen him beating her up, like punching her, like a boxer beating another man, but beating my moms, yo.
And that's the only memory that I really have of them together. Like, I don't have no memory of them together intimately. Like, when I think of my moms and my pops, I don't think of them like as a loving couple, because I can't remember them holding hands or laying down together or walking. The only memory I have of them together physically is when my pops was beating my moms. Yeah, that's the first act of violence that I probably seen or experienced that was traumatic. Me and my sister was crying. He was like, "Get off my mother, leave my mother alone." And he was like, get the act for the, you know what I mean? He sent us to the back room. We like, we ain't gonna get beat up. But we said something.
Where were you living at this time?
Brownsville, man. On Tapscott. Between Blake and Sutter, man.
So growing up, like, what kind of kid were you? Like, how was your childhood? Like, what age were you when you could say you started kind of going astray?
Well, I'm not gonna lie. For real, I can't. Yo, man, I think if you could be born a criminal, man, I think, man, if anybody really could have been born a criminal, man, I thought I was born a criminal, man, because like my earliest thoughts of me really as a child was like, some of the earliest memories that I have is me stealing, robbing, like stealing, like participating in crime, like stealing. I'm talking about like I would steal everything. It's like when I would go, like they would have house parties, right? Like back in the days in the 70s, they would have house parties and all of the grown-ups would be in the room. Everybody would come to the house parties and put their coats in the room on the bed. Like whoever house it was, like the coats, they would put them on the bed in the bedroom, like in the bedroom. And me, I would always act like I was sick. Like my stomach was hurting, and they would tell me go in the room and lay on the bed. So I would go in there and I would lay on the bed, and when they closed the door and leave me in there with all the coats, I would go in all of the coats. I'm talking about I was a little kid, man. I was like 4 or 5 years old. I would go in all of the coats, and I would take a little, like if I see a coat with a lot of bills, I would take like one bill out of it. I would go through everything and take one little, like a coin or a bill out of every jacket that had money in it.
So it was it?
And nobody taught me that.
Nobody taught you.
I didn't see that? I didn't see it. That's the thing. I didn't see it. I didn't have nobody in my life that was around me saying like, yo, be a thief, be a robber. I wasn't looking at TV and understanding like criminality or, you know, the difference between like cops and robbers.
Was your father in the streets doing stuff like that? Or was it the street dude? Was your father in the streets like selling drugs, doing crimes
like my father? Not like he wasn't doing crimes. Like I remember the blackout of '77. This is the only, my father always worked. That's what I'm saying. Like the blackout of '77, that's a big memory for me. And that right there, my father, you know, he was looting. You know, he was a young black man and he was looting. And you know, everybody did that. So, but he wasn't in the street. He wasn't a street guy. You know. He was in the street guy.
Your mother wasn't in the streets?
Nah, she had little hustles, like, you know, like she would take, she was at work, she always worked, but the thing is, she would like hustle as far as like, a lot, like in Brownsville, you had a lot of people that snatched pocketbooks and stuff, and you know, stuff like that. And she like would get the credit cards or stuff like that from the people that snatched pocketbooks, and she would go to the stores and stuff for the people, whatever. Like, you know, of course, she had to look like she was, you know, she was legit. So, and she would bust them down for her, and she would take, because she was smart, she had a college degree, and she would take the GED test for people back then, and you didn't have to do the thumbprint or none of that stuff like that. And she would take like GED tests for people and stuff like, you know.
So when did you start realizing that, you know, Brownsville was filled with kids that do crime?
summer jobs. Everybody know about summer jobs. You had people that was counselors and all of that. Everybody getting their first summer job when they turn 13 or 14, whatever. They get their blue card and they get a summer job, big counselor at a youth center or something. But anyway, the summer jobs, everybody go get them jobs and they work. They get them summer job checks. And everybody around my way used to go rob people for summer job checks. They used to be going. They wasn't the ones that was working. See, the people on my block, they wasn't the ones that was working.
Summer youth.
They wasn't working summer youth. They was the ones that was robbing everybody. When summer youth checks came, everybody on my block, all of the older guys on my block was coming through. You know what I'm saying? Like they just robbed somebody. They coming through with news. They go up on Utica Avenue. They go everywhere where the check cashing places is at, and they stalk the youngsters going. You know what I'm saying? They stalk the people going to cash their checks. And like, so my hood, the guys, they wasn't the ones working, they was the ones robbing.
How old was you when you could honestly say you took a notice to the guns? And what made you, feel like you had to have a gun out there?
Well, the gun thing is like, guys around my way always had guns. The guns was always around. Like they had like 38 specials or a 25 automatic.
And what year was this at the time?
This is like, I'm talking about like 82. You know what I'm saying? Like 82, 83. Like they had them, everybody, all the old guys, everybody had guns. Everybody knew everybody had guns. They wasn't like, because everybody was robbers around my way. It's like, you from Brownsville, you was a robber. It's like, who doesn't rob? And you from Brownsville, you's a robber. So you growing up around the robbing materials. That's one of them, the materials. It's a trade. Yes, it's a trade. You got to have the tools in your trade. So if you're a robber, then one of the things you're gonna get is a pistol.
See, let's explain this to people. Robbery in itself is kind of a different sport in Brownsville, because robbery is so vicious in Brownsville that you could be a gangster and somebody will still get the drop on you.
And everybody can get robbed.
You not soft because you got robbed.
You ain't soft because you got robbed. You slept. That's it, man. You got caught sleeping. You slept, bro.
And the same dude that got robbed, next week
he might get robbed.
He'll be back.
And he'll rob. Yeah, exactly. You already know. So
it's a different. I want to clarify that, because I hear people from other parts of New York City be like, "Oh, yo, that dude soft. He got robbed." Bro, listen, where I come from,
just because you got robbed don't mean you soft, bro.
Where you from, how much work you put in. If you lacking, they'll throw their life away and your life away for that robbery. You understand what I'm saying? And then worry about later who you are and how busy you get and all of that. And this is why a lot of people die in Brownsville.
I remember, I done got robbed now. I got robbed, son. I got robbed when I was young. I got robbed when I was older. And when when I was young, I got robbed. And after I got robbed, I joined the robbers. Like when I was 6, 7, 8, I was packing bags and key food. Like in the supermarket, this was our hustle. I wasn't big enough to rob yet. I used to pump gas. I pack bags and key food, pump gas, and I used to hum and bum. Like humming and bumming, it was like when cars stop at the light, I used to go knock on the window, like boom, 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 mister.
How old were you?
I was like probably 6, 7, 8, like knocking on the windows, and they would open the window. What's going on, little boy? Like, excuse me, mister, do you got a quarter? Like that. We call that humming and bumming. Now it goes around 9 because you know what? They came out with asteroids. They came out with the first like video games, and we was trying to play video games, so we was trying to get quarters. They had Missile Command and Asteroid. Them first video games. In the 70s.
I used to beg quarters in front of McDonald's.
All that. I'm talking about. I used to go up to people, and I used to have 4 quarters. And I'd be like, excuse me, sir, do you have $1 for these 4 quarters? And they'd be like, yeah, sure, here you go, yeah. Because everybody probably want to change. So when he goes to give me the $1 and go to change, I snatch the $1 and run with both of them. Stuff, it was crazy. All over Brownsville.
So when you got robbed,
the first time?
Yeah, where was these dudes from? And
they was from Brownsville.
I mean, they was from Tapscott?
No, they was from Rockaway Parkway.
So they robbed you for your packing bags money?
No, yeah, for my packing. I came out of Kiefer. I packing bags in Kiefer. Now what they was living at is like, well, it's like the edge of Brownsville before it becomes East Flatbush on Rockaway Park. As soon as you cross East 98th Street, you know, which is Brownsville. Because you know you got 98th Street, man. They got a history with it. 98, that's the Ville. 11212, man. 11212, man.
And it's one of a zip code.
11213. That's when you got the plaza and all of that. Yeah.
The 90s is Brownsville. Now the 50s.
And not 50s, 40s. That's in Flatbush, yeah.
But the 90s itself, we always considered that the Ville.
Yeah.
And you can tell by how busy they get. You understand what I'm saying? But yeah. So you said, dudes, you had your packing bags money, and what happened?
Well, I packed the bags all day, and I came out because they all used to pack bags too. But then I guess all of the what's the names would be full, all of the aisles. So it probably only was like 4 or 5 aisles. So if you got there first, 5 people got there first, they got there. And everybody else be there waiting for whoever gonna leave. And they like, yo, I got next. Everybody trying to get in to see whoever leave first, they could get the next spot, packing the bags. You know what I'm saying? So dudes always be standing out there waiting for an opening. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I always believe. So one day when I'm going out, I got all my quarters and stuff like that. I got, you know, I'm mad change. I'm stacked up, new bills. I help do little deliveries. You know, I'm doing my thing. So I'm coming out. And dudes came up to me and they fiend me out. They fiend me out.
They just put you to sleep?
No, they ain't put me to sleep. But they fiend me out. They yoked me up. They yoked me up on one of my pockets and took the thing.
Dudes older than you?
Yeah, they was my age and older. They probably my age bracket. They wasn't older like that. So if I was 8, they was between the ages of probably 7 and 10. You know, in the same age bracket.
So how did you feel? So this was the first time you ever got robbed.
Yep.
And how did it make you feel? Like, what type of thoughts was going through your head after it happened? Like, what did you do? What did you think to yourself?
Oh, I said, these people don't know my moms. So I went and got my mother. And I was like, yo, mom. She's like, what's up? I'm like, cause she know I was hustling. She knew I was hustling. So she was like, what's going on? I'm like, yo, dudes just robbed me. The boys from Rockaway Park just robbed me coming out of Key Food. She was like, what? I'm like, yeah. So she went and got the butcher knife. And we went around the corner on 9-8, you know what I'm saying, right there, 9-8 and East 98th right there in Parks, and right there where Key Food at, or Winter, whatever street that is, and we went over there, we seen the boys, as soon as we seen them, like right there, my mom pulled out that butcher knife and started chasing them. And they ran around the block and she couldn't catch them, you know, they kids. So she chased them, that was it. And then, that was it, and she was like, yo, don't let nobody take nothing from you. And I was like, yo, all right. So I was like, yo, how I'm not gonna let nobody take nothing from me if they're gonna be jumping me and stuff like, you know, it's a lot of them. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try to figure this thing out. So the next time I went up to Key Food, and I didn't go inside, even though I could have went in there and got a spot. I stayed outside. And I waited like with everybody else. I even see the boys that robbed me and everything. Everybody out there just waiting. And you know, Phil, man, I'm waiting with them. And when somebody came out and it was somebody they feel was a Vic and they went to go rob them, I went with them. I just went and joined them. When they was robbing them, I helped them rob them.
The same dudes who had robbed you?
The same dudes that had robbed me, I helped them rob somebody else. So I'm like, yo, it wasn't really like if you can't beat them, join them thing. But yo, I'm not gonna be the victim. I'm gonna be the victimizer, like that. So I just went ahead and I started.
You put yourself on the team.
Yeah, and I went to start robbing with them.
That's
you
crazy.
know, like that. And they became some of my better friends in life, you know, like that. You know, as far as like, you know, and you know, like I would, even though they was from around that part, like I always had a connection to them. You know, we was on the island together, I seen them in the streets, like, and they was 3 brothers at that, and they all dead now. They was from the Ville, but they had moved to East New York later in life, you know.
All of them is dead now?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. I only robbed with them like at Key Food, but I didn't like really join them like that. It's just that was my first introduction into robbery. I would start robbing with the guys on my block, on my block actually on Tapscott and around the corner, Howard, and you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. All the guys over there, cause they was robbing also. Like I wasn't like them dudes that introduced me to robbery, but they was, they was the ones who introduced me as a part of a robbery. Because I knew dudes around my way was robbing people. I know this is what they did.
On Pickin Avenue? Or
they robbed on Pickin Avenue. They robbed on the corner of the block. Like if somebody walked through the block and they look like the dudes would run up on them.
And guns, you talking about snatching,
digging pockets and stuff like that. Because at this time they wasn't like really robbing with guns out there like that.
And they were how old?
They was like 12, 13, 14. Doing, strong arm robbery, snatching chains and stuff like that. We wasn't seeing the armed robberies because at that time, because the crack didn't hit yet. The crack didn't hit yet. The big armed robberies that was going on in the hood like that happened when the viciousness came when the money came.
How old were you about when you actually saw with your own two eyes that it was something different in the hood and crack was here?
Well, when crack came, I was already hustling in the spots. Like, I remember I was hustling like some older guys, they wanted me to work for them. They was coke dealers. And like nobody on my block was all the little guys, nobody sold drugs. Because back then you couldn't really give a kid drugs to sell. This to be before the crack era. But it was some guys, some West Indian guys that was drug dealers, and they wanted me to hustle for them. They wanted me to sell drugs. They wanted me to hustle. And the opportunity came to me from people that I knew, and they was like, yo, you want to hustle, make some money selling some drugs? I'm like, drugs? Now, mind you, I never even seen cocaine before. You feel what I'm saying? I never even seen cocaine before. I heard of cocaine, but I never seen it before. So, and they want me to sell cocaine. You feel me? So I'm like, you gotta ask my moms, bro. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, you gotta ask my moms. So they went to ask my moms. And my moms told them whatever year that I could work, but I said I gotta go to school. So they was like, I could work, I gotta do 12-hour shifts.
Brownsville, Brooklyn is such a poor place that, when we grew up, I knew a lot of friends who their mothers made them sell drugs. You understand? To bring money in. My best friend was one of them at the time, back in the days. You feel what I'm saying? Like, his mother would curse people out. Oh, you put on this bitch son, but you ain't put my son on? You understand what I'm saying? Because when people are poor, they do a lot of wild stuff for money. So you said you made these dudes ask your mother for permission.
Yeah, of course. I can't go and work at a spot for 12 hours. I gotta be home. I got a curfew. I'm a kid. What I'm doing, I suppose I gotta get permission to stay home at night, man. If I'm gonna be selling drugs, it's a 12-hour shift. What are you talking about, bro? I gotta be there, I gotta do my homework there and all of that stuff like that. Yo, bro. And I'm really trying to leave the robbery stuff alone, So it was a new hustle for me that I didn't have to rob every day, So I'm like, yo, shoot, I don't have to rob every day. And, so I'm like, yeah, I'm cool. And that's around the time I start losing, like this is around the time that it really got rough, It really was getting a little rough for me. But I went ahead and I started selling, the cocaine. At that time, the coke was going, they was 20s, and it was an aluminum foil. Like, an aluminum foil, one side is pale, like kind of pale, and the other side is shiny. And they used to wrap up the coke with it, and if it's on the shiny side showing, that means it was a 20 rock. That means the 20 was still rocky. And if it was with the dull part showing, that means it was 20 flakes. That means that it was powdered up, it was already shredded already, and it was powder. That was for like the sniffers or whatever, because people, they wasn't in the spot yet, crack didn't hit. So now
people was freebasing at
people was freebasing, but
that's
they
true,
wasn't.
so
Yeah, but it was nobody. They wasn't coming. They was freebasing, but we wasn't paying no attention to it. We wasn't like, yo, people buying coke. I didn't know what people did with coke. Only I knew that people did with coke was sniff it. I didn't know that people shot coke up. I didn't know all type of other stuff could be done like freebase. I didn't know none of that. All I know is that people sniff coke, right? So that's it. So I used to be in a spot, and I used to work in a spot selling the coke, and me, I used to do my thing. I used to hustle. They was paying me $150 a week, for 12-hour shifts for 12 hours.
How old again?
I was 13, like 12, 13. Yeah. Spots back in the days, it wasn't, people didn't come in to a spot. It was like a apartment. You came to the apartment in the apartment building, knocked on the door. Either like the knob came off, it was a little thing under the door, a slot. It was some type of way. You never made physical contact with your dealer.
So when you got paid, you bought that. You kept that money for yourself, or you bought that money home?
No, I bought that. No, they paid my mother. They paid my mother. They wouldn't give me. They paid her whatever they gave her. But me, I don't know what they was giving her. If they was giving her coke or whatever.
So they would pay your mother directly, and you just was there working?
Nah, they would pay her for letting me work. They would pay me, so they would try to play me though.
Because both of you.
Yeah, they pay her for letting me work, and they paid me my $150 a week. That's how they started me off. Then it went up to $200. But the way they played me, they would give me a $50 bill with like 100 singles, and give me a big mitt. It made me look like I had a lot of money. I'm poor, I'm from Brownsville, so they'll come around with the mitt, because none of them dudes, everybody out there poor, they robbing and they stealing and everybody's starving, bro. And then I'm coming around with a mitt, I'm hustling. They don't know nothing about that. So everybody looking at me like, yo, how dude got this money? You know what I'm saying? Because none of the dudes my age was into none of that. They wasn't into, like, nobody was, crack wasn't out, so nobody really was selling drugs like that. So when they seen me and everybody started whispering around on my block, like, what is this kid doing? Because everybody, seeing, they knowing about me having money, because everybody know your business in Brownsville, everybody in everybody business. People talk, they gossip or whatever.
So what was you doing with that money at that age?
I had to take care of my brothers and sisters. I had to help take care of my father was gone. It was just my mother.
Was your house your household was poor, like very poor?
Yeah, we was poor.
It was on welfare, like.
Yeah, at this time, my mother, she was getting public assistance, but she was working. But she was getting public assistance because she was a single mother raising five children on her own. You know what I'm saying? So there's no way that one woman, with a job, can raise 5 children. A one-person salary is not enough to is not enough to raise no 5 children. It's not.